So I'd been compelled to study about unbelief and how that counters faith. And in Mark 6:6, it says, "And he, Jesus, marveled because of their unbelief," which can translate, he was astonished that they couldn't get past their preconceived ideas of who he was. They couldn't make room for God to move in their hearts and their minds. But you notice how it didn't affect Jesus. He still went about teaching, and he didn't let their small-mindedness stop him from trying to help others. And it just is crazy because they thought they knew him, and he wouldn't stay in their box, which is kind of cool. So then I was reading about Bartimaeus, and it says, "Now they came to Jericho." This is in Mark 10. "As he went out of Jericho with his disciples and a great multitude, blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, sat by the road begging. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, 'Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me.' Then many warned him to be quiet, but he cried out all the more, 'Son of David, have mercy on me.' So Jesus stood still and commanded him to be called. Then they called the blind man, saying to him, 'Be of good cheer, rise, he's calling you.' And throwing aside his garment, he rose and came to Jesus. So Jesus answered and said to him, 'What do you want me to do for you?' The blind man said to him, 'Rabboni, that I may receive my sight.' Then Jesus said to him, 'Go your way, your faith has made you well.' And immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus on the road." I want to go back up here. He had obviously been told about Jesus because he cried out for him. People had talked about everything Jesus had done, and he had faith because of that. It's important we share our faith and we share what Jesus has done for us so that others can have faith. And I think it's interesting how he identified him, Son of David. And that's important to recognize Jesus' authority. And Jesus stood still. That's just awesome to me. He stood still. He wasn't in a hurry to run and go do other things. He stood and waited on him. And then 50, when he threw aside his garment, to me that signifies he threw away what identified him and was willing to get a new identity in Christ. And when he was healed, he followed him.